Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Dream Big Today. This is our Noon Nuggets, and I can't wait to get started and talk about Psalms 27. We're going to be doing the first 6 verses. So, if you would, put your praise report and your prayer request in the chat box, and so we can kind of scan over that and be able to pray with you and celebrate with you with all of the things that happen in our lives every day. There's seems like there's always something that that we need to take to the Lord. And that's the best place to take it, especially when we get in and talk about Psalms 27 today. Now, the theme of this is that God offers help for today and hope for the future. Do you believe that? Can you read that Bible and just come away with just this sensation that He is with you and for you, and that He's got a plan for your future? Well, let's look at this a little bit. Verse 1 says, "The Lord is my hope and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the defense of my life. Whom shall I dread?" So, have you ever had a problem with fear, having that be an issue in your life? Fear is a dark shadow, and it envelopes us and ultimately imprisons us within ourselves. I've known of people that have been afraid to leave their house. I know I've known of people that has been afraid to ever drive a car again or ever even enter a public building again. I think a lot of people experience things like that during the time of COVID, where they were afraid that if they left their house they would get sick. So all of us at some point in time has probably been a prisoner of fear. Fear of falling in love again, fear of rejection of that job or that transaction that you needed at a bank. But we we look at David. He conquers fear by doing what? He's talking to God. We can conquer it today by using the bright, liberating light of the Lord who brings salvation. If we want to dispel darkness, let us remember that the psalmist David says, "The Lord is my light and my salvation." So, light, salvation, and stronghold, these are all how he sees the Father. This is how he dealt with fear, how he dealt with trouble. He looked to God. He says that he he is his stronghold of his life. David knew a greater strength than his own. And all of this in the first 3 verses is proven confidence. When evildoers assail me to eat up my flesh and my adversaries and foes, it is they who stumble and fall. Though an army encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war arise against me, yet I will be confident. What do you do whenever you're facing something that you just don't know how you're going to get around it, how you're going to navigate that? You start googling, you start calling everybody, trying to get some words of wisdom or advice, when maybe we should just stop and take a moment to pray. Spend some time with God. Get in the word and read, what does the Bible say? What does God say? David has a desire for God's presence. He says in verse 4, one thing I have I asked for of the Lord, that I will seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all of the days of my life, and gaze upon the beauty of the Lord, and inquire in his temple. This was the one purpose that dominated his life. If we desire to live in God's presence each day, we will be able to enjoy a relationship with God forever, just like David. Verses 5 and 6. This is the blessings of being in God's presence. So listen to this. For he will hide me in his shelter. In the day of trouble, he will conceal me under the cover of his tent. He will lift me up high on a rock. Now, in this last verses 4 through 6, he mentions the house of the Lord, the temple, the shelter, and then the tent twice. He's just talking about everything about where God is. Of course, we know God is everywhere. He's not in a dwelling or in a tabernacle, so to speak. But David is seeking him everywhere and knows that he'll protect him. He'll put him high on a rock. And I think he's talking about a rock that is so unshakable that nothing could shake that rock. It is solid foundation. And now my head shall be lifted up above my enemies all around me, and I will offer in his tent sacrifices of joy. I will sing and make a melody to the Lord. Now, David did like music, and he sang, and he played musical instruments. And we know that he had pain in his life. It wasn't all a celebration every day, but he chose to celebrate and give thanks to God for all he'd done in the midst of all of the troubles that he experienced. I think that is something that we ought to focus on. So when we have those days that, oh my goodness, I don't know how I'm going to get through that, what has God done for you? Are you able to not sacrifice, to celebrate what he has done, what he will do, and celebrate that he's never left you, he's with you right now? So if you prayed this Psalms today, you could say something like this: Lord, conquer my fears and give me courage to serve you. Bring me into your presence every day of my life. I will sing praises to you. This is a great one to start out this week. If you have some kind of obstacles that you are facing today, tomorrow, the next day, just take a few moments to read how David navigated life. He made mistakes. He didn't always do things right, but he always went back to God. He always sought God. So thank you for joining us today, and I hope and pray that you have a great afternoon. And Elizabeth will be back in the morning, and Tony will be here at noon.